Welcome, friends, to our first real episode, issue 1, actually, of the reboot.
Are you nervous, Ben? Are you
Yes,
excited?
I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous, dude.
Listen.
It'll be fine.
Listen, we've done a lot of I've dragged you all into a lot of different types of projects
Yeah.
with this podcast. I've had a lot of ideas as to how to do different things and to make things fun. This is the first one that I'm actually really nervous about.
It'll be fine.
It'll be hunky and dory.
Yes, don't worry about it.
Well, we shall see, and we'll just get into it, I guess.
Right.
I guess before we do that, does anyone have any questions, comments, or last minute things about the game that we want to go over?
No.
So my understanding broadly is that if something doesn't tell you what specific dice it's using ahead of time, that it's like when you do something, there's you use three different shits, and then there's a maximum, a middle, and a minimum dice.
Yes. So whenever we get into an action situation, whether it's combat or a tense social situation, which there are rules for that too, your basic mode of taking an action is you pick your power, quality, and ability, and then that tells you your die type, and then you roll the 3 die that are associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
The die that the action takes is the middle die.
Okay.
The middle, I should say the middle number. So if you roll a D8, a D4, and a D6, and your highest number is a 4, is that D4, and your lowest number is that D8, you take the D6, whatever the D6 gives you.
Okay.
So you can roll like shit with your highest, your largest value die.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, that's
fun. But
there's some stuff where it's like use your max plus min dice. So I'm assuming that means like use the highest one and then the lowest one, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And again, that's the number you rolled, not necessarily the size of the die you're rolling.
Right.
So.
Okay, that's it. I just wanted to clarify on the basic, like the most basic game verbism. That's really all I got, though.
And when we get into a combat situation, we'll do some JRPG tutorializing.
Sure.
Right.
But okay, let's set up a world here.
All right, Ben.
Okay, so you all don't find yourselves in a tavern. You find yourselves in a hotel room.
Okay.
You are in the Brightleaf Hotel in the small town of Cedar Crossing, which is about 65 miles away, or 65 miles east of Haroldtopia.
Okay.
Now, we established in issue 1 that the 3 of you have already met on the road before. So you already know each other. You have been given the last room available at the Brightleaf Hotel. Because Cedar Crossing is currently packed. There's a lot of people coming from all over to get to Haroldtopia. And they weren't really expecting this many people. Like as you were, getting into the hotel, you did kind of have to fight through some crowds of other travelers. And the only room is on the 10th floor.
Okay.
And we live in a world with that does not have electronic powered elevators anymore.
Yeah, as you as the bellhop was taking your helping you find your room, you walked past the elevators. You could see a out of order sign that was hanging on the doors, which underneath someone had handwritten the word "obviously."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So you're in the room. The bellhop is a little out of breath because he has been going up and down flights of stairs all day. But he's still got his award-winning customer service smile on. as he gets you settled, as he helps you get settled in. And he's like, all right, well, that'll do it for you guys. Do you need anything else, or?
I imagine him sweating like it's about to be illegal tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we don't. Where to eat?
I'm not going to ask you for like a cup of water or anything. You're good, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. If you're there, hold on. Yeah, there are restaurants that are downstairs, that are down there out in town. People have got their promotions and stuff going on. So you'll find places. You just walk around. There's stands and stuff, and yeah. Okay.
Okay.
If you're all good, then I'm gonna get out of your hair and
Pluto just
hopefully
sort of,
you don't have to go up and down like this and so as many times as I did today.
Pluto just sort of points at him and then looks over at Ollie. He's like, is he dying?
He must be tired. And Oxtail just offers him like a $10 like bill. This is like, I hope they still take these here. By the way,
he looks at it with initial awe, and then just the slightest hint of disappointment. Because like $10, really? I mean, that's more than you should, but like really. But
Yeah.
he quickly stuffs it in his pocket and he turns to leave.
just turns to the other two, and I didn't have anything bigger.
I mean,
The paper money comes in bigger sizes than that?
the paper money comes in bigger sizes, I've heard. But also, I mean, how many people are using paper money? Are people still using paper money out here?
I mean, some towns do and some towns don't. So I always make it an effort to bring some if I have them.
Pluto crosses their arms, kind of like tapping thoughtfully. It seems kind of inconvenient to have to lug around like maybe a paper-sized money, like a blanket-sized money. That seems like... Why would you do that?
Oh, no, it's just the value on the... You know what? Never mind. You'll see.
The number denotes the value, so a bigger number is a bigger bill.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put like whatever number you want on it?
Well, we can't. It has to be printed by a treasury, Like,
I mean, I figure we probably could.
A treasury.
I mean, there isn't any treasury anymore.
yeah, that's kind of the problem.
Oh, that makes sense. By the way, I have to know, is Ollie's money, is it just like old world money or is it new world money? Is it from where she's from?
I like to think that she has a wallet stuffed to the gills with like $1 George Washingtons.
She's got the George Costanza wallet.
Yeah, if she
Yeah.
tries to fit a single
it's-
like receipt in, it just pops all out.
It's you remember the bit in Back to the Future where Doc has a suitcase full of bills from different decades?
Yeah.
It's her wallet is like that for like different counties in the area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining that she is a $10 heir in every domestic currency this side of the Rockies.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right, yeah.
She always defaults to, whenever she can, old world money, because everyone's just like, oh wow, I haven't seen this in a while, and it always puts a smile on their face.
Maybe it'll be valuable again someday.
Sometimes the currency, is a 1-to-1, and sometimes it isn't. She always feels bad.
It's like, I gotta hang on to this. It could be worth a whole dollar someday. And Pluto just looks at it and it's a $100 bill.
Well, I'm gonna go explore.
I love the sound of that.
So, Ollie, are you coming with?
She lugs her massive duffel bag over her shoulder onto the bed and looks out, just kind of peeks out the window and is a little distracted and lost in thought, and then just starts pulling out her sniper rifle just so that she can look down the scope.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes, "What'd you say?"
Do you want to come explore or not?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
I will
Cool.
say, by the way, since you looked out the window, the parking lot is interesting.
Oh, okay.
Because there's probably about, like, including yours, probably about 3 cars in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly like actual wagons, like real ass covered wagons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like a section of it has been converted into stalls for horses.
Makes sense.
know, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, there's no cars and stuff.
Yeah, like it's people have found ways to improvise travel.
Sure, of course. I imagine there's still like a ton of like bikes and stuff laying around too.
Mm-hmm. There's something in there that's just kind of like sitting there idly, and it looks like a gigantic plant with roots for legs, and it's just kind of sitting there.
Just idling.
Yeah,
Just hanging out, just wacky races.
like
You know how it is.
someone in this hotel has plant powers apparently.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. You know, I guess that is true. Well, I definitely want to go explore. This is probably our first or Rio's first time in a real town. Because we did just kind of meet like while hitchhiking at different points on the way here. So this is Rio's first time in a real town since the reboot. She is ecstatic. She wants to go out and look at everything and potentially spend what little money she has on everything before they even get to Heraldopia, but we'll see. So yeah, no, she is not going to fly down. She feels kind of bad that the busboy was like so insistent. It's a thing she mentions while they're like going down the stairs. Is like,
Well, you actually pass him holding his side like in the stairwell. Like catching his breath, and he kind of gives you a weak thumbs up as you pass.
It's like a little weak thumbs up back, and then like once she's sure all 3 of them are out of earshot, she's like, I didn't want to tell him I know how to fly because he grabbed the bags before I could say anything, and then was just up the stairs, right? Like,
I think he wanted the tip.
well, I'm glad we provided, but I do feel kind of bad. I guess our windows don't open. Listen, it's fine.
You'd
but
have to go through the door anyway. Because
My
you wouldn't know
understanding
which
of-
number it was from the outside.
My understanding of human culture so far is that if he knew you could fly, he'd be jealous and he'd try to kill you to steal your flying.
I mean, that doesn't seem right.
Little guy, I don't think it works like that yet.
Well, why not?
We got another 10 years before society completely crumbles, I think.
Well, I mean, you can't even really kill somebody and take their powers. And you know what? I'm not going to say that.
Unless
I'm
there's
not going
someone
to
who
say
has
that
that
out loud. I was about to say, yeah, no, there's a chance that somebody...
I don't know that for sure.
Nobody knows that for sure. And I don't want to find out.
It could
That's
even be
right.
you. It could even be me.
Is it you?
Me?
Pluto just blinks once and goes, well, I haven't examined that yet.
Well, that's good.
And Oxtail's just like, I have never bothered trying, and I don't think I will, so I think we're in the clear.
Has Pluto told them, by the way, that they're an alien?
It was probably the first thing Pluto said to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
good to know.
that
We
tracks.
get a flashback to Pluto getting into the buggy at some point. Like, hi, I'm Pluto. I'm here to conquer Earth.
So did you come from Pluto, or
No,
is that just a coincidence that you named yourself that?
Pluto goes, "What's Pluto?"
it was the name I found that seemed appropriate.
Like the dog. I see.
I think they
Like a
mean like
dog?
the Greek god.
You know, that probably makes more sense. I just always think of like a Fido when I hear Pluto.
Yeah, like the cartoon dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So is a dog a kind of god? I'm not really sure what either of those things are.
Well, you'll find out. There's probably dogs around here.
We will see dogs shortly, I'm sure. They are
Yes.
man's best friend for a reason.
Man's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You see Pluto like suddenly become very serious, as though they're trying to imagine what a dog could be.
And I assume this is when we emerge. We've absolutely been walking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only assume this is when we actually emerge outside of the hotel.
Yep, you very pointedly avoid the crowd of people at the counter who are very unhappy that there are no more rooms available.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the group seen coming from your room.
Just kind of like scoot out the back door, like it's fine. Don't worry about it.
And yeah, it is. As you leave the hotel and as you kind of wander more into the town area, it is packed. They were not prepared for this much foot traffic. Cedar Crossing is used to some traveling traffic because they are so close to Heraldtopia, but as mentioned, this is the first time Heraldtopia has been this open to the public.
Right.
Harold is usually very specific about who he actually lets in. And Cedar Crossing, it's not necessarily a walled community, but there are like some kind of like structures they've put up to kind of designate where the town is and where the not town is.
Right.
But you walk down there's the streets are lined with people. There are some roadside stands selling merchandise, selling whatever handcrafted, tools or jewelry or fun little, gifts they could, people could whip up at the time. People are out there with some good old propane grills and some are even using their fire powers to cook food. It's kind of like a festival.
Yeah, that's what I was
like
kind of thinking. Yeah, like the vibe is probably very like festival adjacent, right?
There's some handmade banners that are talking about Reboot Day, hanging up in building windows and stuff. You see a lot of real genuine cowboys.
Oh sure,
like people wearing cowboy hats and vests and holding rifles, and that is the town guard.
Yeah,
that's Colorado for you.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go explore. And without another word, Rio has just happily skipped off into like the throngs of people.
Rio is in the crowd.
Yeah, it's like a child. You lose her almost instantly.
Pluto takes off after in short fashion, though remains to be seen if they will catch up. I feel like actually if we're doing a crowd scene, because something that occurs to me just now.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we're flying through this festival, we should describe what our characters look like and stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea, because this is a crowd scene. It's the perfect time.
Yeah, so you lead since you took the first step.
Yeah, so Rio Estrella is 19 years old and approximately 5'6"-ish. Dark skin, white hair that seems to always be floating just a little bit, with kind of these big green, blue, kind of iridescent, kind of shiny eyes, like unnaturally shiny eyes. She's wearing like kind of just like a workout bodysuit, underneath a big like green blue poncho covered in like a stitched topographical map of the area. It's like a big blanket. Basically, it's like a throw blanket that she's converted into kind of a traveling cloak because she didn't have much other kind of outdoorsy appropriate clothes when she left home.
And if she ever gets lost, she can throw it onto the floor and look at it.
That's right. You have a general idea of where she is. And yeah, no, she is has a skip in her step and is just happy to be out and about amongst the humanity for the first time in how long has it been since the reboot? 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
5 years. 5-year anniversary, right?
She strikes me as the type who is hovering more often than not.
Yes, 100%. Gravity does not have a lot of purchase on Rio Estrella. She is always just a little bit kind of slightly off the ground. I don't think she walks very heavily at all. And it helps that she's not very heavy either. She's a little beanpole of a child. So, Yeah, and she is just bebopping through the crowd in search of fun and interesting things.
Following behind her then is Pluto, who currently is a very human-looking, though striking, sort of like. I have on their sheet 6 foot. I think at some point I went like, no, it's better if they're just like 5'8", right?
Mhm.
Like taller than Rio, but not particularly tall, right?
Yeah.
Kind of this noodly twink with this long white hair and very like twiggy proportions. I've always described him as looking kind of like if you turned a Borzoi into a human a little bit,
Yeah.
very big bright eyes, very charismatic. They're stomping around in precious little, honestly. They have like this kind of like extreme, what appears to be a manually destroyed sort of like athletic crew neck kind of like tank top thing, but like ripped in such a way as to kind of have like a little bit of a rib cage patterning to it, right? Like torn along the sides, and like some little shorts and some flip flops, and that's it. And just sort of like and importantly, despite like besides their like bright glowing blue eyes that are just sort of like a little bit sinister, like not sinister, but like they are constantly glowing just a little bit. Like aside from that, looks currently like a completely normal human being.
Correct. And he's definitely going to conquer the planet at some point.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Ollie follows behind at kind of a sauntering, like, kind of a plodding pace.
She's moseying.
She's moseying, but kind of
She's game bowling.
Yeah, she's going for a jaunty saunter.
Well, she's tall, so she doesn't have to skitter like the other two.
Yeah. She is fairly tall, about 6 foot even. Very pale. I would describe her more as like pinkish with a lot of freckles.
She's ginger. She's like a true ginger.
Ginger girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where with like heavy bangs covering most of her face. Hair's mostly short in the back, and then she's got a very long, bizarre-looking rat tail that resembles vaguely an ox's tail, which is where she gets the nickname. She's just wearing like a beat-up ancient military jacket that's been through the wash so much that it's gone from like that nice olive green to like a teal in like the teal on like old medical scrubs.
Ooh, okay.
And besides that, she's kind of leaning into like the vibe of being kind of a cape. So she's really just wearing underneath that some high-waisted panties and like circus style like boots. Just she looks like she probably does tight ropes or something similar in her off time from the bottom half anyway.
She's got kind of like an FF14 glam effect going on a little bit.
I can see that vibe. Yes.
Very dainty, like very. She looks like if you were to take off the jacket, she would be toned but not beefy looking. She's mostly just all limbs.
Gymnast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm imagining her having kind of like an Elena Street Fighter build a little bit, like classically.
Yeah.
You know?
Like old Elena, yeah.
Yeah, where she's like extremely long-limbed.
Yeah, limbs.
She's built like Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab.
What if Dee Dee was buff?
What if Dee Dee was a baddie? Yeah.
I think people draw that plenty.
Yeah, no, that definitely
wasn't that
exists.
comic in like the early 2000s?
On
Anyway,
DeviantArt, we can skip that one.
Yeah. Anyway, we're doing our own comic here.
That's right.
So Rio is leading this pack right now. What is Rio looking for?
Anything interesting. Rio has not been outside of her family estate in 5 years. And she's very, very worried about her mother, but not so worried that she can't buy a tchotchke, okay? She'll take a souvenir hat, she'll take anything that looks cool and interesting. Because listen, the note said to go to Haroldtopia. It didn't say that it was dire. So, it's okay to take it easy and explore and have fun.
And maybe she wants to bring something to her mom when they meet up again.
Exactly. That's right. So listen, it's fine. You can have fun while your mom is missing. It's cool. Don't worry, kids.
Well, there are definitely a variety of handcrafted doodads and what's-its.
Tchotchkes.
Like just a parade of, because there's no real theme for Reboot Day. Like there's no like mascot, there's no like, branding anymore, obviously. So like everyone's kind of got their own thing that just talks about Reboot Day. Like you can get like a big felt top hat, or you can get like, like a necklace, but they aren't really connected. They're all just this they just got the word Reboot Day on it somewhere.
Cool. That sounds great. Yeah, no, I think she is just exploring right now. I think when people try to sell her stuff, that's also what she says. Just like, no, thank you. I'm just exploring right now.
I'm just looking. Okay, yeah. So you're wandering around, and you are taking in the sights of this new world, and roughly most people just kind of look like people. Every so often you will see someone else who is also floating, or maybe they've got one big eye, or maybe you see like a street performer that is like a fire breather, but they're actually just breathing fire.
Sure.
They're just it's a chance to kind of show off, to kind of celebrate the thing that makes this world unique now.
Right.
And then you see one thing that does kind of catch your eye. That's a little out of the ordinary. In this kind of, it doesn't quite fit with everything else. You see kind of on the across the street on one of the corners there. This group has kind of commandeered it for yourself, and you notice because there's a lot more of the deputies kind of hovering around that particular corner. Like there's some more law enforcement keeping their eye on that area.
Okay.
And they are a group of people at they're sitting at a makeshift kind of like desk. They have some papers on the desk. They're kind of one person is sitting behind it, one person's in front of it trying to hand out, flyers and stuff. And shouting about their thing. The banner above that table says, "Join the Technology Liberation Front."
Okay. Yeah, sure. I think Rio's gonna just kind of like meander over to it. She doesn't know what it is, right?
The person handing out flyers seems surprised that someone is directly approaching them for once.
Sure.
And he seems kind of flustered about it when he hands you a sheet of paper. He says, "Oh, are you interested in joining our organization?"
No, but I want to know what it is.
Okay. Well, we are a group who are trying to and then the girl sitting behind the desk kind of like nudges and gestures at him to be like, just remember your script. And he goes, "Oh yeah, so we are trying to return to the world that once was. For too long we have suffered under the heel of a lack of technology and the advancements to our society that made us humans. These so-called superpowers are not a good substitute for the world that once was. And with your support, we can bring that world back."
Why would you want to do that?
How would you go about doing that?
Ollie and Pluto just kind of like popping up behind Rio.
Oh, I think I heard about there's this lady I met who said that guys who say this kind of thing miss their gotcha wives. Is that true?
Yes, actually.
Yes, that is actually a good point. This in this world without technology, we have lost many of the comforts and forms of entertainment that made our society what it once was. With the lack of electronic video games and with the lack of television and radio, we have lost many forms of entertainment and cultural comforts.
And vape pens. I miss those.
Yes, vape pens as well. We need to bring those back. Can we count on your support? Will you be willing to join our cause?
But I mean, I'm a little confused. How would you do that?
The two people there kind of glance awkwardly at each other. They didn't expect to get this far.
I mean, now I'm just kind of like, because that's Rio what says. She just kind of like,
well, we have
the world's the way it is now, right?
We have a number of ideas across our different groups across the country. We are always looking for the next opportunity. We have, and she was telling about Boston. Oh yeah, in Boston, we have made excellent progress in just simply rebuilding cell phones from scratch using hand-carved tools. They don't work right now, but we're close. We're getting there. I feel like with just a little bit more time, we can get back there.
Just to cell phones.
Yes. Don't you remember cell phones?
No.
I wasn't allowed to have one. No.
Oh, well, they were pretty cool.
Ollie just like patting the guy gently on the shoulder and be like, "Look, man, I miss it as much as you do, but unless you got anything like tangible for me, I got some tchotchkes to be buying."
Well, we do have one thing. Can you? And the girl kicks him from under the table, and she said, "Don't tell them." Oh, why don't you come back later and we can talk about it? Because some of the cowboys have kind of taken notice that someone's actually holding an extended conversation with these weirdos.
I see.
And they're kind of looking now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Rio like looks over her shoulder and notices it too. It's just like, oh, I see. You don't want to run afoul of Johnny Law.
That's a funny joke, ma'am. Listen, we actually need to restock, so we're gonna go on a little bit of a break. But please come back later tonight, and we can talk more about this. And they quickly gather up what's the leftover of their pamphlets and flyers and duck into the alley behind them.
Oh, bye. Okay.
Is this courting? Are we being courted?
No.
We're being recruited, I think.
Recruited, yeah, is a better word.
Pluto looks almost offended at this, like, I'm the one who does the recruiting around here.
It's okay, Pluto. I'm a little aghast as well. I really don't know what those guys were trying to
We can fix this. Just we'll come back and then we'll recruit them.
While you three are mulling it over, someone else approaches you. Mm-hmm. She is also adorned in a cowboy hat, but unlike the rest of the folks milling about, she actually has an honest to God sheriff's badge on her chest.
Oh.
I see.
She has some dusty blonde hair and freckles. She's about relatively about as tall as Ollie. Kind of built, very tough, sharp looking woman. And she pokes Ollie in the back and says, "Hey, you because Ollie has her gun with her, right?"
She has just the sidearm. I think she left the sniper rifle upstairs
Okay.
in the hotel. So she's got like a pistol like very clearly belted around her.
Mm-hmm. She pokes Ollie in the back and says, "Hey, you can't have that with you."
Is there was I not supposed to be open carry? I thought this was Colorado.
Yeah, normally we would allow that, but it's kind of a weird situation right now, and plus you got these idiots mulling about, and she gestures to the now vacant table. So just as a precaution, we're just kind of telling everyone to put it away.
That's fair.
Are these people violent?
Oh, you haven't seen them around?
Well,
I haven't seen much around. No,
this is their first time in the area, and I haven't been here since before the reboot. So,
and this is a question both to Ollie and to you.
mm-hmm.
She kind of looks Ollie directly in the eyes, and she asks, "Do I know you?"
Oh.
I think the funniest answer is always yes, definitely, but the funniest question is how.
Yeah, I want to say yes, and I'm trying to figure out a fun way for that to be.
Okay.
So, I got one. Yes, and I don't know which is funnier.
We can vote.
Yes,
Okay.
this would be a good opportunity to do some comic writing together.
Let's do some character writing here.
Yes.
This is either the girl who snitched on her in boot camp, or this is the woman who arrested her 6 years ago.
Second one.
Yeah,
I think also the second one.
That actually works out really well because you are, and the comic panel would finally, after Ollie confirms they do know each other, the comic panel would show like the subtitle with her character with her name on it. This is Sheriff Prosperity Kincaid.
Aha.
And she runs this place.
I see.
Technically, Cedar Crossing does have a mayor, but she's the one everyone goes to if they have a problem with anyone at any point.
So the mayor is merely a figurehead, and she is the shogun. I see.
Yeah, essentially. She's also just, competent.
You're telling me the residents of Cedar Creek, Colorado voted for someone who's not smart?
I know. It's shocking, right?
Someone who's very charismatic, but maybe not good at anything.
Maybe not
for no
maybe not
particular reason.
actionable.
For no particular reason, the panel cuts to Pluto.
Yeah.
She kind of tilts her head at you and goes, "Yeah. You were in my cell a while ago, weren't you? I couldn't forget that hair."
A few people do.
What'd you do?
And then she kind of looks pointedly at you and goes, "Yes. What did you do?"
And we I think it's at this point we flash to like 3 separate panels of the outside of a bar.
Yeah.
A person running in to crash through it, and then a person running out through a separate window.
I see. Yeah, okay.
She's like, "Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. She turns to the other two, like, I used to do bounty hunting, and I went into the wrong bar.
Are you recruiting me now? Is this a backdoor recruitment to your bounty hunting quest?
No, I mean, like, I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. I just, I had to make I had to make ends meet, and I was very drunk, and I went to the wrong bar.
Pluto seems satisfied. Seems satisfied with the answer before looking at Sheriff Prosperity Kincaid and going, "You're not trying to recruit us, are you?"
She looks at the three of you, and she goes, "No."
Good.
She looks at a 19-year-old, what is probably a 19-year-old, and someone she arrested 6 years ago for drunkenly shooting up a bar and screaming they were a bounty hunter over and over again.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Nah, I'm good, actually." She does tell you though, like, yeah. Hey, so she asks, so what did these lunatics want with you anyway?
They said to attend a meeting for ending the superhero plight and bringing back the age of technology or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
They seemed really proud about the shellbone thing that they made.
She kind of rubs the bridge of her nose between her eyes, and she's like, they aren't hurting anyone, so we gotta let them in. But honestly, I'm just so sick of seeing these guys all over the place. I mean, they show up here. They're always acting suspicious. Like, they always seem like they're up to something. Their eyes are darting left and right all day. They're handing out flyers. They never seem to have any idea of what they actually want to do.
Are they violent?
No, I mean, they aren't hurting anyone, at least as far as we know. I mean, they're just kind of...
They're just fishy, though, right? Like,
yeah.
They're suspicious is all again. Okay.
I'm
glad we're on the same page there.
I mean, we're kind of keeping an eye on them because, just in case. But, like, if they're up to something, they're doing a real bad job of hiding it, because they are, what would be the opposite of incognito? Just cognito? Is that how that word works?
I think so.
Well, anyway.
I'm not really even sure what the first word means, so I believe you.
Well, you should know what a king incognito is at some point, Pluto. You got to work on that one.
Well, okay. They accept the request with extreme patience for some reason.
Yeah. And so Ollie just turns to the sheriff and says, like, well, if you guys don't have like a safe box, I can put that in. I'm gonna put this up away in my hotel. You two.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in sight. Don't disappear into the woods or whatever. I'll be back.
Yes, ma'am. Pops like a little salute.
Well, right before you can take off with that, one of the deputies comes running up to the sheriff, and he says, "Ma'am, you got to come with me. There's something happening." And she goes, "What is it? Another fight? Another stand get burned down?" And he goes, "No, ma'am, it's something very special." He goes, "All right." She goes, "All right." And she actually kind of looks at Ollie, looks back at the gun, and says, "You sure you're out of the bounty hunting game?"
I just carry this for protection, and I'm not particularly good at it if it's already wrapped up. So if you want me to come along, I'll come along. But I'll be shooting last, is what I mean.
I want to see something special.
Yeah, she says, I don't have time to escort you back and then go check on this. So yeah, why don't you all come with me and we'll see what's going on over here.
Pluto crosses their arms and just grumbles, I knew it. It's a recruitment.
This ain't a recruitment. This is she kind of thinks like, what do them soups call it? Team up. This is a team up.
We're not being deputized, Pluto. It's fine.
This is just the deputy even kind of like helpfully smiles. He goes, "It's a crossover." she snaps her finger. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word I was thinking of.
Pluto just squinting suspiciously, just very clearly not believing that this isn't a backdoor recruitment of some kind.
The fun thing about the reboot world is that comic terminology is it just exists now.
It's just there.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of whatever horrible thing happened that made the world be like this. Is everyone became really genre savvy out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but also no one thinks it's particularly remarkable either.
Right.
Well, Rio is following. She
yes.
wants to see something special. She is very curious. And yeah, she wants to know.
Despite Pluto's protests about being recruited, they are, in fact, have zero... nothing is stopping them from just following along very obediently.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto may, in fact, be easily recruitable.
So you make your way down the street, you make a few turns, and then in the middle of the street, what used to be, a 3-lane road, we're back when cars were a thing. There is a crowd of people forming a circle around 4 people or 5 people in the center of the street. 2 of them are definitely there against their will.
Oh no.
And
okay.
3 of them are also there against their will, but they are controlling the other 2. They are, and there are a few deputies with rifles kind of trained on them, but no one's really ready to pull the trigger just yet.
Sure.
So you roll up and you can see there is an honest to God hostage situation. Crowds of people are kind of like looking, onlookers are looking, concerned and trying to stay away, but also want to see what's going on.
Sure. Oh yeah, of course.
It's exciting.
Right.
Give me a second.
Yep.
You got it, Rubberneck.
Yeah, you gotta look. You gotta see what's going on. And so you kind of push through the crowd a little bit. Especially when Prosperity is like kind of holding her badge up to indicate, hey, I'm important, let me through. She approaches one of the deputies on the scene and she goes, what the hell is going on here? And he goes, I don't know, Sheriff. We were just talking. We looked over, and suddenly those 3 guys are freaking out. And they're trying to run away. They just grabbed those 2 people, and they haven't even given us any demands or anything yet. As you look, you can see in the center of them is a big ass like chest, like a trunk, with like the metal handles and everything, and like the padlock lock, like a big fancy trunk, and it is open and it is filled with phones and camcorders and like radio equipment.
Okay.
Like everyone can see that it's got all that junk in it.
Okay.
Which, as a bit of lore building, is not that weird. People collect anything.
Yeah, and it's just like old junk. Yeah.
But they are like really freaking out, and they are like trying to protect it.
So the guys who are being held hostage are the ones trying to protect it, or the guys holding the hostage?
Guys holding the hostage takers are like forming a perimeter around the trunk and using the hostages as shields, basically.
Weird. Okay.
What do you?
I see what's going on here.
Pluto has already started stomping over to them.
Oh
no! Ollie just like slowly like leaning over and just being like, it's like that Fallout TV show. Those Brotherhood dipshits.
Prosperity goes.
I think
I didn't watch that show, and I can imagine this exchange is happening in the panels, and like it's kind of like a horizontal panel, where it's like the 4 of you lined up, And then, you lean over, she leans over. And in the third panel, Pluto is gone.
Yeah.
Rio just looks up from watching Ollie and the sheriff and just says, Pluto! But I assume they have already just meandered on over.
Yeah.
And that gets Prosperity's attention. And she's like, get back here. It is too late. They have seen Pluto.
Pluto doesn't take orders from anyone anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
One of them, ostensibly the leader because he is the tallest and he appears to be the biggest.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's the giant rat who makes all the rules.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. The reason he is the biggest is because he has what appear to be like spines, like porcupine spines.
Oh, okay.
Coming out of his like arms. Like he has one of the hostages and he is holding her at spine point, like on his hand, like on his like Wolverine claws almost.
Sure.
And like he's got those against her neck.
Okay.
He goes, hey, tell that kid to get back, or I'll do it, man. I swear, I'll do it.
Pluto continues forward as though not aware that they are being talked about. It's like, what are you doing?
Hey, Pluto gets right in front of him. Mm-hmm. And he's still like, I'll do it, man. Don't you come any closer. I'll do it.
What are you going to do?
I'll kill her, man. I swear I'll kill her.
Pluto just cocks their head to the side. So?
Pluto!
He was not expecting that response. And,
did she do something to you, or
Prosperity is trying to get the rest of the deputies to not fire and trying to make sense of what the hell is going on now?
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
And he's like, look, you tell the sheriff that we just want to walk away, we want to take our shit, and we want to get out of here, okay? And we'll or we will start shooting. And one of the other guys, the one who doesn't have a hostage, and is the one with the beard, says, "We don't have guns, boss."
I mean, I'm going to be pretty honest. From what I've heard, I think they just want you to leave anyway. I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of pushback from them on that.
You hear in the background, Prosperity yells, "No, we're definitely gonna arrest them."
Really? I think you should probably just go. Like, what are they gonna do? Stop you?
Yes.
Pluto's just like, dude, listen to me. If you don't want to, you seem like you don't want to kill this lady who you're threatening to kill, and your ultimatum here seems to be them stopping you. You can just leave.
He is doing more thinking than he has ever done in his life at this point. And the other two are like doing the awkward like shuffle back and forth, like trying to be intimidating, but also like, what's our play here, man? What do we do?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Pluto's doing Pluto's doing Pluto things right now. They say, listen to me. I know about the shell phones. I know about Boston. I need you to be there so that I can lead you and save you your worthless asses from this lifetime of indolence you seem to be pursuing. You will have purpose as my minions, but not if you get killed here for no reason.
The leader kind of looks and goes, "Boston? No, we're trying to go to. Are you in with? Are you part of what? Dude, are you in the TLF?"
I am the one who is here to lead you to salvation. If you're not in Boston, I will go to wherever the other place is later. But I assure you that you will all be mine in time.
Prosperity looks over at Ollie and says, "Are they one of yours?"
One of ours. We just met. We're getting used to wrangling them.
Literally fell from the sky and landed on my truck and said that they're an alien conqueror. I don't know what's up with them either.
She nods very slowly. Yeah.
I think they're mostly harmless.
They do seem like the type that would say that, yes.
Yeah.
One of the guy with the hostage, the other guy with the hostage, not the leader. He's holding his hostage, by the way. The tips of on the fingers of his right hand are blackened with soot. And he's kind of holding, as one would hold like a gun to a hostage, he's holding his fingers in the snap position.
Oh, okay.
He kind of leans back and he goes, Hey, Dennis, I don't think this kid's with the TLF. I think this one's got powers, though, so we could probably actually, use our powers on him and see if we can just get away. And Dennis, presumably the leader of the group, the gears kind of turn in his head. And he's going to point those porcupine spines at Pluto now.
Oh?
And this is where the battle transition is going to happen.
Yeah!
You just see, there's just a sudden dead-eyed, wide grin on Pluto's face, like, we're going to fight?
We get to fight now?
Oh, Vegeta get fight?
So, does anyone have any questions about how combat works in this game?
How does do we do initiative?
There is no initiative. You tell me who goes first.
Well, I would presume Pluto goes first by proximity.
So here's so just a quick rundown, really quick.
Okay.
You take your action. There are the 6 types of actions.
Okay.
6. There's boost, hinder, defend, overcome, and attack.
Boost
and hinder. Boost and hinder are the same.
Okay.
Defend, overcome, and attack.
Boost, hinder, defend, overcome, and attack. I feel like I should be writing this down somewhere until I learn it. Hang on. Where's my notebook? I got a notebook.
So I guess my question is, how do abilities / status factor in here?
So for this tutorial battle, we will not use the full turn order aspect. But the way it would work in a more tense situation is it would go green, yellow, red.
Okay.
Or it's the gyro system.
Okay.
So we're going to say we're only in green for this battle because aside from the initial threat of the people attacking right now, there's not really a lot going on. Right. There's no real external danger or anything like that. So you can only use the abilities in your green right now. Because you are all in green health and you are all in the green status of the battle.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that makes sense.
You always, whatever it is, you always take the furthest color down the line. So if you're in green health, but the situation is in yellow, you can use your yellow actions.
Okay. Oh, that's smart. Okay.
Yeah.
If your health is in red, but the situation is still in green, you can use your red actions.
Okay.
Oh, that's so smart. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
We have I think I would be okay with Pluto going first here because they have a really appropriate, I think would be funny to do a green action here that would lead combat, which is, so they're they acknowledge that a fight is about to start, right? And you see them raise their arm in as though mirroring Dennis's. And then very suddenly it spools out into a silver metal Samasaran type arm cannon and their big silver metal horns pop out of the side of their head, and they're going to use Disabling Blast.
Great.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Does Pluto have any regard for the hostage that Dennis is currently holding?
No, should they?
I think can Rio shout like just as the gun goes up, look out for the woman.
Well, now I know what'll happen if you fail your roll. Thank you for offering this convenient explanation of what minor and major twists are.
Hooray!
Look, I have to be true to the character I'm playing, and the character I'm playing was but for basically all intents and purposes, born yesterday. So this is but the text of this just says attack using nuclear, hinder using your minimum dice. So do I pick like 2 other things that I am also rolling that are like appropriate?
Let me take a look at what that actually says here. It's in the context of the rest of your character sheet. You're using
it's just in the combat page. So
you're using the ability Disabling Blast.
Yes.
So you attack using your nuclear power. So you have to use nuclear.
Okay.
And then you hinder using your min die,
which is going to be the lowest one that I roll.
Yep,
right?
That's correct.
Okay. You
roll your power. So the 3 you pick are your power, quality, and status.
Oh, okay. So I would be doing
your power is nuclear. What quality fits this situation?
Well, we do seem pretty close, but also I am doing an arm cannon. So I think I would leave that to your thing of this is either closed combat or ranged combat.
I think you can justify close combat because you are right in Dennis's face.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let you use the D12 for that. And then your status, which is 6.
Okay, so I'm rolling a 12, a 10, and a 6.
Yes.
So let me go to the thing. We'll roll a 12 and a 10 and a 6. So I rolled a 9, a 3, and a 5.
Okay, so now Disabling Blast is a little different. It says attack using nuclear.
Okay, so I rolled a 3 for nuclear.
Okay.
And then the minimum dice, I guess, is also 3.
Okay.
Because that's what nuclear was.
Okay. So you are going to just straight up blast them with that.
I can hear like the hand dragging down Ben's face. As he says that.
No, okay, no, I'm actually like considering like how would this work? Because you do have a hostage right now, but you did just make an attack.
There is another failure thing too that I would suggest if you need other possible failure points. Could possibly piss them off by the nuclear tech just EMPing further all the technology they have in their little chest. Just whiffs completely and then just melts it into slag.
No, okay, so no, what I'm actually going to do here. You know what? You're close enough that you can just aim for the dude's head.
Yeah.
Cool.
There it's not like you're at a distance. You just make the attack, you hit him.
That makes sense.
Yay.
You blast him. He is a lieutenant. And that was how much you said 3?
Attacked using 3 and hindered using also 3.
Okay, so I think that...
And when it says hinder using min die, that just means the lowest one you rolled, right? And not the lowest dice?
The lowest one, the lowest number you rolled.
Okay.
And now a hinder is just a negative. It's just a straight negative number to their next roll.
Cool.
So he is hindered for 3. I'm going to make a note of that right here. And I think for lieutenants... Oh, I have it right here. That's right. Yeah, he just takes that damage. Okay.
Simple.
Okay, so now, Saturn, who goes next? You have the rest of your teammates, or one of the three goons.
I think it would make sense if one of the other goons went next, not the one who I just blasted in the face, because I have to imagine the Hinder is like, he just got blinded for a bit there, right?
Yeah.
Like just having a sudden blast of nuclear energy directly in his face.
I forgot the most important thing. Saturn, tell me what happens when this cannon goes off.
There's this, I think it is like legally, as legally distinct resembling just an actual like Kamehameha, like just energy blast thing, and there's just this like flash of light, and this dude, like, I think he just like, it's only 3 damage, so I feel like it wasn't a particularly like strong blast or whatever, but he does look like he just got briefly microwaved, right? Like he suddenly has a very like pronounced sunburn, and if he was wearing sunglasses or something, they're now like a little bit melted.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good God.
And so you're going to let one of them go, one of the other 2 guys go next.
That makes sense because they're closest, right?
Yeah.
And then it would make sense if Pluto immediately had to suffer the results of their actions.
So for the sake of ease of understanding everyone, so yeah, the leader's named Dennis. The other smuggler with the hostage and the burnt fingertips is named Anton, and the one with the beard that doesn't have any hostages or any powers is Ray.
Cool.
So who goes next?
Let's say Anton.
Okay. Anton is actually going to defend his boss rather than continue trying to hold on to a hostage he didn't want to hold on to in the first place. He's going to let that guy go, and he is going to whirl around, and he is going to raise his hand to you, and he's just going to make a general attack on you. He's going to snap his fingers and create a mini explosion directly in your face.
Oh, nice.
Fun.
So that is just a basic attack on his part because he is just a minion. He just gets 6. That's a 1.
Great.
That's it. You take 1 damage.
So there is no,
quick,
I guess there's no like missing, right?
Yeah. So quick rundown. You attack. You hit.
Yeah.
There's no defense. There's no rolls unless you have like a hinder or a boost that we can we can give you a plus to reduce their attack or give you some defense.
Mm-hmm.
Attacks hit.
Okay.
You take that damage. They take that damage. Why?
It's a slug match. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's comic books. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
When does Superman miss a punch?
Good point.
Right? Like,
yeah.
No, they're going to hit and the armor's going to go, oh, it's too strong for you, Superman. Right?
Right.
Unless the flavor text is, you miss.
I'm imagining the explosion like goes off at like the expected climactic size / intensity, and then the next panel is just Pluto looking pretty much completely unaffected by it.
Yeah. Like, okay.
All right. Who wants to go next? Actually, it's my turn. I'm going to say Sarah, you go next.
Cool. Yeah. Let me think. I am going to also so it's just a general attack. You don't have to use like an ability? Or how does that work?
So you want to use abilities.
Of course, yeah.
Minions can't because they're minions.
Wait a minute. Real quick. Ben, if something is inherent, does that mean it's always active?
What are you looking at on your sheet?
Created form. It's the first green ability I have.
Yes. Inherent is always active.
Okay, I did not take any damage from his attack. It just literally did nothing.
Great.
Just smile. Just tell Smiles. It's like, what was that?
That was cute.
Good point. Thank you for pointing that out.
It's like, oh, you're copying me.
He is freaked out right now. All 3 of these guys are freaked out.
Okay, then. In that case, if it's better to use an ability, then what Rio is going to do is that, like, as soon as, basically, once the explosion goes off, even before she realizes that Pluto is okay, and this guy is having his moment of being like, what the fuck is going on? In that, like, split second, suddenly his whole arm gets yanked down to the ground because Rio is going to hinder using gravity.
Ooh.
That's one of my green abilities, yeah.
Okay.
So basically just, like, take that guy by the arm and just yank him down to the ground and just slam him just chin first into the ground, right?
Okay. Let me look.
Doing her LB5 Aphrodite shit.
That's right.
Maybe a little overkill for these kinds of guys, but you know what?
I mean,
it's your first issue.
It's my first issue, and this guy just tried to blow up my one of my two friends' faces. I've only got the two, folks.
I didn't know the sheriff counted as one.
Maybe the three. Rio might count the sheriff as a friend, sure. She seems cool. Her name is Prosperity.
So, again, you are going to choose a power and a quality and a status, and your status die, which is green.
Okay.
And give me those. So, your power, I'm assuming, is what's listed here is telekinesis, right?
Right. Yeah. I on mine it says gravity now. I should send you my updated one.
What's your quality?
Alertness.
Okay. So D10, D8, and D6.
D10, D8, D6. So roll the D6, the D8, and the D10. Wow, 4, 4, and 3.
Okay, so 4 it is. He has a -4 on his next roll because he is pinned down.
That's right, just pinned to the floor. Yeah, and I think that just looks, like I said, just like this guy, in the moment he's still kind of like realizing that Pluto isn't scratched at all. Suddenly his whole arm just like yanks down and he's just pinned to the ground. And Rio's just like, Pluto, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Who goes next?
Ollie.
I just like, I like the idea of Ollie taking the slightly less violent approach.
We do. I'm so glad we have a face because I don't have any face skills.
Pluto has face skills, but they don't have the common sense to back them up.
Great. Fantastic.
Use the principle of justice to overcome the act of injustice going on here. And by that, I mean, I think she's going to literally I think she's going to literally quick draw and shoot the porcupine spines away from the hostage as a warning shot, you know? Like...
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, so this is where things will get interesting.
Okay.
Because this is where twists can come into play, depending on how you roll.
I like the idea of that.
So the situation you are overcoming is you are trying to prevent the hostage from getting hurt. You are trying to free the hostage.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
Okay. To do that, you are going to try to snipe the Wolverine claws from this guy's hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's a careful shot, but I think this counts as justice, so you get to use your max die. What are your powers and qualities?
I want to use sniper and I want to use leadership because I like the idea of her taking charge, like being very much like taking charge of the situation and telling people like, "Hey, we are stopping this right now." So that is a D10, a D10, and a D10.
That's a D6. Fuck. Your status die is still green.
Oh, right.
Oh, is it? Oh, you're right. Yeah. Excuse me. So D10, D10, D6. Is that? Okay, I can do that. So, my minimum die was 1.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
The medium was 3, and the max was 6.
6. Okay, that is action succeeds with a minor twist.
Okay.
So, this is where we get to discuss what the twist is.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, the twist cannot make your action fail. You succeeded. You shot the spines away. And now the guy is doing the thing where when Batman throws a batarang at a henchman and knocks the gun out of his hand, and he's doing the thing where he has to grab his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he has let go of the hostage. But what happens? I think in a situation like this, because it's minor.
Oh, well, also, real quick, because this is something that would be on OC's sheet. You used your principle to do that, and there's a twist associated with the principle. What does it say on the twist itself? Or on the principle itself, what the minor twist would be?
Oh.
Because there's a suggestion question there for what we could use as like a leading ourselves.
How are you taking extra time to show yourself as an example of justice?
That
Not
might
sure if
not apply.
That one might
doesn't
not
really
apply.
The major twist already applies, which is how do you unnerve your allies in your pursuit?
You know what? We can use that though.
I kind of like the idea of it.
Yeah, because to be fair, we had a thing where she was like, well, you shouldn't have that, but, I can't really... And then immediately, as soon as you had any inch, whip that thing out and shot someone.
How about this for a minor twist, then? And you know what? Maybe now is a good time to introduce the gyro system.
Okay.
So, let me, real quick, get that pulled up here. You know what? We'll make this one relatively easy here. This will just be a 112233. So GGYYRR.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means whenever everyone takes their action for the turn, the timeline shifts forward one spot. We're in green right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and by the next turn, we will still be in green.
Okay. Oh, I see. So
Yeah,
I follow.
2 turns green, 2 turns yellow, 2 turns red. Okay.
However, Prosperity just told you to put that thing away, Oates.
Yeah, I know.
She told you you were not allowed to have a firearm in this place. And yes, maybe you did free the hostage. But maybe some of those guys who had their rifles trained on the hostage takers, maybe they're kind of leaning a little bit more toward your side. Maybe we just kind of move ahead into yellow.
Oh no.
Maybe we just kind of skip ahead a turn.
Maybe we.
I see.
Maybe
I like that.
I see.
Maybe
I like
after
that.
everyone takes their turn, we're gonna move straight to yellow.
I see. Okay. This is fun.
So we have one more turn of green, or we're moving straight to yellow?
No,
No,
once
we're
all
just-
the other actors on the scene have made
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I
we
see.
still have Dennis and Ray still need to go. So
Okay.
Oates,
I'm okay with yellow.
who goes next?
So who were the other two?
Ray is the one that does not have a hostage,
Okay.
and he doesn't have any powers.
And Dennis has the porcupine hand.
Yeah, you just shot Dennis's hand. You didn't do any damage, but you hit him.
And Antoine's currently on the ground.
Yes.
I think the combination of what Pluto and now Ollie have just done has moved him up into like just kind of a blind rage, I guess. Like he's like immediately acting on whatever impulse he's working on right now.
Yeah. So the hostage is not quite clear yet, but she has broken free of his grasp,
Okay.
which means he is now free to use his spine launcher.
Fun.
Now, granted, he does have a -3 to that because of the blast that hit him, but he can make do. In fact, you know what? He's going to try to hinder you, Pluto.
Oh my god.
He is going to scream in frustration and fear and how none of this is going as it should have for him. And spikes are going, like a fistful of spikes are going to launch out directly in your direction. Like they're going to shoot out like little javelins. And he is going to hinder you for He is a D8. Ooh, 8.
Oh shit!
Is
I
that
see.
so? How does that? How does
You
the
get
hindering
a
factor
negative to your next roll.
No, but I
Whatever
mean,
your-
like, how does my hindering affect him?
So it's a -5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he reduces that. You're right. I forgot about that. He reduces that 3. So now your next roll has a -5 attached to it because you are now full of porcupine spines.
Oh my god! Okay, that's fun.
Now again, you didn't take damage. You're not hurt. It's just your next roll will have a -5 on it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And then he's going to take his second action because he gets 2. His ability is he gets 2
Oh my god.
to attack the person that just shot him with porcupine spines.
Delightful.
I think for attacks for lieutenants, he just gets the same die roll. Let me just double check that real quick. This is why I have this book with me. These are things I thought I knew, but then like I didn't know them until we actually got into the game.
No, that's fair.
You know?
I understand.
No, dude, it's the first session. You're allowed to
Yeah.
be like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
This is delightful. I like how dynamic the system is.
Yeah, it moves very quickly. I like that a lot.
I always appreciate
It's just
I always appreciate any game where the answer to combat is, well, you roll a bunch of die, but only one of them does something, and it's very straightforward.
it's just his general dice. Okay. 1.
Okay.
I see. Does that hinder still apply, or was that
No,
exclusively for that next
the hinder
roll?
is
Okay.
the hinder was one action. The attack is a second action.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
So you just take 1 damage.
Sounds good. Okay.
And then finally, poor old Ray here, who was just kind of here to carry the trunk,
Uh-huh.
and he's just gonna take a swing at Pluto.
Is this an unpowered swing?
He just has a fist
And a dream.
and a hope.
So I don't know if this is going to factor because it's a like not a specific mechanical effect, but it's part of the principle of the Indestructibles during roleplay is you ignore damage from unpowered close combat weapons and attacks.
Where is that show? Where is that listed on your sheet?
It's on the first page in Principle of Indestructible and during roleplay. I don't know if that has any bearing here.
This is not roleplay. This is combat.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you cannot be immune to all damage.
No, okay, that makes sense. Well, because it's like specifically unpowered, and I was like, is that supposed to be? That makes more sense of it framing roleplay as being you're not actively in combat.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
if this were a situation where, like, say the tense moment is that, like, say a mob had turned on you,
Right.
I could not make you take damage during what is not an active combat situation.
Okay, I see.
So that means, like, in the terms of the story, like, their punches are just bouncing off. It's like a bit in a comic where, like, the thugs are punching Spider-Man, and he's like, I wonder what I should have for lunch today.
Right.
That makes sense. Because I wasn't sure because it's like, it's not in the ability. So I'm like, is that supposed to be like that? So I'm happy to have the clarification.
Yes. So he's just gonna try to punch you.
I wish him well.
He rolled a 3.
I see.
That actually does hurt you for 2.
Wow.
Damn.
Good for you, Ray. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
See, the thing is, he's got really pointy knuckles. Like his knuckle bones are like really prominent.
Yeah.
Pluto. The thing is, Pluto could feel the emotion behind it.
Yeah.
My friend
Pluto
Dave and I
felt his like genuine like desire to do violence.
I have very prominent knuckles. Which means that my friend Dave hates when I punch him because it actually hurts because all of my force is like concentrated in like 2 very small points. He's got that situation going on. That is the turn order. we are going back to the top. We are now in yellow. Your yellow powers are now available to you.
Cool.
Yay!
Yeah.
Granted, all of you are still in green health. Your status die. But that means your status die shifts to yellow.
Oh,
So even though we're in
okay.
green health, we use our yellow die.
Yep. You always go with the lowest down the scale.
Yippee!
Okay.
Yes.
Hooray!
This is the thing where it's like, yeah, it is, good to have more abilities. But if you don't beat these guys by the time we get to the last red slot, the battle fails and something very bad happens.
Oh, okay. So there's like a timer attached to every battle, kind of.
Yes, exactly. Because, what if you can't disarm the bomb in time?
Right. Okay.
Right.
The bomb they have.
Yeah.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, though.
Exactly. So,
All right.
but, I'm pretty sure you can take these guys. Who wants to go first?
I think Ollie wants to go next, because I immediately have, since it's yellow, I immediately want to swap over to Ollie revealing that she is powered of some sort, using her ability Forked Migraine. Attack using telekinesis, hit one target using your min die, another target with your mid die, and boost using your max die.
That's a hell of a power.
God damn.
Okay, go make them rolls.
So let's see. That would be telekinesis. I think I'm going to use insight, and then that would be, so we're on
Well,
D8.
your Forked Migraine says attack using intuition.
Right. That was.
Oh, did you change that to empath? Or to
because I don't actually, because I no longer have intuition in there. That was for, like, me copy pasting.
Okay.
So
for the future, this just kind of goes through all three of you.
Yeah.
On your character sheets, if you are going to rename your power, put the original name of the power in like parentheses.
Oh, sure.
So that
sure, totally.
Yeah, we can kind of keep track of what is what.
Yeah. So that's a brainstorm from unknown, if that helps you at all.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just to clarify, because I did that when I played this game with my friends, and we got really confused as to what we were using.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Going to put that note down ahead of time so I can remember to finish the rest of it. Okay. So let's see. Have to use telekinesis, and then I guess I'd use insight, and then you'd have to use yellow, right, for the status die?
Yes, status die is currently yellow.
Okay, so that's D10, D8, and D8. So that's a 5, a 5, and a 5.
Well, that makes it easy then. Okay, so to be clear with this specific power, this one tells you what you're doing with your die. Like, you don't get the choice in that one. In this situation, like you use those dice, but they're all 5s. So, who are you hitting?
Aiming for Dennis.
Okay.
And since the what's the name of the guy with the ashen finger?
Anton.
Anton, that's what it was. Aiming for those two, since even though the other guy got a lucky hit in, the other two are using things that are like,
deadly.
Yeah, deadly force, But it literally just looks like her. So she politely, like, kind of drops the gun to let the sheriff know that she's, like, not going to take any more risks with the hostage, and then holds 2 fingers to her temples, and then with the other hand holds 2 fingers out, and you can literally see lightning bolts hit those two, Anton and Dennis, just square in the head.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Oh, shoot, I forgot something with Lieutenant. But so we'll do that now. We'll do this now.
Yeah.
Unlike you guys, minions and lieutenants do get saving rolls for damage.
Okay.
Ooh, fun.
Thing is, minions don't have HP. They have dice size. So if you when you attack a minion, what I do is I roll their save. If you beat their save, they're knocked out. They're just knocked out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If they make their save, they go down a die size.
Okay.
They go from 12 to 10 to 8 to 6 to 4.
Okay.
Okay.
The minions right now are dice 6.
Okay.
So they have to beat a 5.
Oh, I see.
But I just did boosting them mean that they can't even make that save?
Anton has a -4 pinned by gravity.
Oh, you're right.
Anton cannot win.
Yeah.
Anton's having the worst day of his life.
Yeah.
Anton is unconscious.
Yeah.
Forgot Anton was pinned.
You could say he got Anton blasted.
Oh my god.
I see.
I would say that you can also switch to the other one who is not currently pinned, but too late. You already picked.
Yep.
I'm sticking with that one because I think it's funnier.
Now, Dennis is a D8.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So he can make this still, and he's not hindered or anything at all right now.
Uh-huh.
So he can make this one. We'll see what happens. He doesn't. He gets a 3.
Okay.
Now, he gets degraded. So he's now down to a 6.
Okay.
So even if he succeeds, he still gets degraded. Or no, I'm sorry, other way around. If he fails, he just gets degraded. Minions succeed to get degraded. Lieutenants fail to get degraded. If a lieutenant succeeds their roll, nothing happens.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
But now it's easier to hit him because he can only roll a 6.
Okay, that makes sense.
I love
Got
that.
it. Okay.
Okay.
This is fun.
And now
I like
you get a
that.
+5 boost to your next action.
Delightful.
Who's next, Oates?
I want to see what the other minion now does upon realizing that the other guy's just zapped into unconsciousness and his boss just got hit with what appeared to be some kind of lightning bolt.
You know what he is going to do? He's going to give a little boost to Dennis.
How does that work?
He's going to yell out, "Come on, boss, get up. You can't let these chumps kick your ass."
Oh, I have to respect it.
And Dennis, who has not been doing great,
No.
is still slightly motivated.
Good for him.
He gets a +2
Cool.
to his next
Good
action
for
or
him.
save.
Spectacular.
That's a true goon right there.
Now I get to decide who goes next.
This is a very fun turn order system.
I love it.
They do this in Lancer as well, but it never I never felt natural in that game to me when I played it, but it just feels so appropriate here.
Because
yeah.
because if you're an amateur, you're like, oh, well, we'll let all the villains go last, haha. But then all the villains get to go at once.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
just get to keep going and going and going. You don't have no chance to recover or anything.
Yeah, there's no way to kind of break it up and respond. You have to just wait until the next turn. That's a good point. Yeah.
Also, the comic feels funner when it's back and forth.
Yeah, it's like a real comic book.
So you kind of go out of your way to be like, all right, so let's see what the villain does next. All right, let's see what the hero does next.
You know what? I'm going to let Rio go.
Okay. Okay, I actually have a really fun one. Okay.
Hey, go ahead, go for it.
So Anton is out, right?
Yes, Anton is on the ground.
He's just
smoldering.
unconscious. He's having a bad day. Rio.
He's doing that cartoony thing where you can see like little canaries flying over his head.
He's got stars in his eyes. I think after Ray tries to encourage Dennis, the literal next thing that happens is that Rio is going to throw Dennis probably into Ray if this goes the way I think it goes.
No.
I haven't picked a new name for it yet. I think it's very appropriate that Rio hasn't named her skills yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the name of the skill from the book is Throw Minion. And it's attack a minion using gravity. The result of the minion save attack. The result of the minion save attacks another target of your choice.
Spectacular.
Hold on. Okay, so... Oh, I see. Whatever save is damage gets transferred to...
Uh-huh.
Okay, another target. Okay, that's cool. So you're throwing Dennis into Ray?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Dennis has a +2 to his save.
Okay.
You could also throw Ray into Dennis.
No, I'm saying that's a guaranteed +2 attack to Ray.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I'm still getting used to what I need to roll.
Okay, so telekinesis is your power because the book says so.
Right.
What quality helps you with this?
They're all D8s except for acrobatics, and acrobatics doesn't apply here, so I'll just use science.
I don't think
or
that
alertness.
I would say gregarious.
Okay, I'll take
You are
that.
making a kind of boisterous action here.
Sure, I'll take that. That works.
And then your status die.
And then my status die, which is still a D6.
Yep.
So, same as before.
Yeah. Important thing to remember is that you do have to justify your quality and power to me.
Sure.
So,
that
like,
makes sense.
you know, if you can't be like, oh, I'm using acrobatic because Rio does a backflip when she does this. It's like,
Sure.
No.
Okay. So I rolled the D6 was a 5, the D8 was a 4, and the D10 was a 1.
So 4.
A 4.
And his save is +2, and he's a 6.
Oh.
He does make his save.
Uh-huh.
But that means that's 6 damage because he rolled a 4, +2 is 6.
Uh-huh.
If I'm reading this right,
yeah, the result of the minions save attacks another target of your choice.
Ray can't beat it. He's unconscious.
Yeah, so I think Rio just like flicks her. She just literally as soon as Ray is like, "Don't let these guys kick your ass, boss." Rio just kind of like flicks her hand and just literally throws Dennis into Ray, right? And the impact knocks him out.
I choose to believe that his save was like he instinctively curls up cannonball style like a hedgehog, and then the problem is that he then pincushions his friend who he lands on.
Yeah.
No. Ray. No. Oh, that sucks.
It's funny though.
Who's next?
There's just the one guy left who has
You could
Pluto
also
hasn't
give
gone.
it to me.
Yeah, Pluto has not
hasn't
gone, and
yet.
Dennis has not
Okay.
gone.
Pluto, you're up.
Okay, I like this because this actually segues very well into the thing I was going to do in an effort to make up for the fact that I'm currently hindered 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I'm going to use a little, it's still a green ability by the name of Exploit Vulnerability is what it's called by default. I haven't renamed any of these.
Yeah.
This is an attack using leaping by default. What Pluto is going to do here is having already been hit by their blast last time, and having just now been thrown to the side, Pluto is going to do a maneuver that is, I would say, it's like a standing high jump with a front flip kick, right? Like he's doing a helm break. They're doing a helm breaker with their heel, basically.
Okay.
They're doing the thing Rock Lee did to Gara.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just doing that from standing. And so I'm going to. This has to use leaping, which is an 8. This is going to use close combat, which is 12. And now we're in yellow, so my status dice is now an 8.
Yeah, and now reading your ability, if you attacked or hindered that target your previous turn, which you did,
Use your max die.
You use your max die for this attack.
So hopefully it will offset the -5, whatever my max die is. So let's see. So that's like, what I got? 8, 12, and 8. So let me roll a 12 and then 2 8s. So I only rolled a 2, a 4, and a 5. So what I'm going to also do is I'm going to use a reaction. This is a yellow zone move called Recalculating. After rolling during your turn, you may take 1 irreducible damage to re-roll your entire dice pool. And I think this looks like a Pluto, like I think there's literally a panel of them adjusting their trajectory in midair while they're doing the fucking spin kick.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Like they're doing a tracking overhead right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to re-roll the 12 and 2 8s and see if I get anything above a 5. That's it. There's an 8 in there. There's an 8, a 7, and a 6.
Well, there you go.
So I have my max die is with the hindering is a 3.
Okay, that's pretty good odds. They roll. Dennis is going to roll his defense. He gets a 5. Unfortunately,
okay.
Nothing happens.
That's
dang.
Okay.
Sometimes your cool thing looks really cool, and then you just kind of get a spine in your heel.
Yeah, I think because this is the result of the hindering. I think it is really it's like it looks like it's going to land, and you just see a porcupine spine go straight through like Pluto's leg, like completely bloodless, and they're just like,
and the entire crowd simultaneously winces as the spike goes through their leg.
But because they're made out of like liquid metal, it just barely does anything. It just doesn't do anything. It's
I think that's the thing is like
the kick.
And that's the thing is like you see the liquid metal thing is you see them just like pull their foot off of it, like not like the normal way a person would. They just remove it as though it was like stuck in jello, and they just pulled it straight through, and their foot reforms on the other side of it, right? Like completely, like unharmed.
Terminator 2 style. I get it.
Yeah, which means now it's now Dennis's turn,
and Dennis is going to try to carry forth that momentum of not being hurt by that kick, and he is going to lash out at Pluto. Just an attack.
Just a normal attack.
Yeah. 1.
Nope.
Yeah, that does -1 damage because we're in the yellow zone now. I mean, I'm assuming it's just reduced to 0. It doesn't literally do -1. But.
You do not heal.
That'd be really fun.
I have other things to do that with. Don't worry.
And then he is also going to make his hinder action towards Pluto now, because he just saw to Rio now. He just saw what she did to his friends and to him. He's going to try to hinder you. He's going to throw some spines into your outstretched hand. 6.
No. Okay.
That's a -6.
Bad civilization.
I think that's everyone, right?
Yep,
yeah.
Okay, we are still in yellow. Who wants to go first?
I think I'll do this one.
Okay.
I think I was already thinking about doing this, but now that she's got the hindrance, I think Ollie's going to use her yellow ability called Called Shot. I've renamed it as Marked, where you attack using leadership, and then you boost another hero using your max die.
Okay.
Oh.
So let's see. That's that one. That one's marked with a quality. How do you pick do you pick with?
So presumably you can use whatever power you think is appropriate.
If it only your quality is leadership, but you can pick whatever power you want to use.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what would be like the most correct way to do that. I think it would be. I think I'm going to use telepathy as a way to kind of like worm into her head without saying anything, like how to guide her while she's like hurting, to like notice that there's some kind of like weak point, I guess, in Dennis's like Like Dennis left himself open in some way
Right.
for her.
Okay.
So let's see. That's a D10, a D8, and a D8 again. It's a 2, an 8, and a 1.
Oh no.
Well, that's your attack is 2, but hey, that's a +3 to you, Sarah.
Oh, cool. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And I got a +5 from last
From your
turn's
boost.
Oh yeah. So now your attack, then you probably just want to use it as the attack then, because you don't need to boost Sarah that much.
Mm-hmm.
So that your attack is what, a 7 now?
Yeah, that would
+5?
make that a 7. Yeah.
Yeah, +5, and your mid was a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he can't beat that. He is down to a D4.
Cool.
Nice. And then that max of 8 carries over as a boost to her.
Yes.
Okay.
So Sarah has that +3 now.
Cool.
It's too late to use it, but I did want to ask. I have a yellow ability called Never Happened, which is when a nearby enemy would create a bonus or penalty, you may remove it immediately. Would that count for the spines in the hand? Like, not retroactively. But...
Yes, that would have counted.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Well, Rio's still getting used to
using that's fine.
Superpowers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, reactions also have limits.
Sure.
So like it's a choice of whether or not you want to use them.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, you get a reaction once per round. So
okay.
Yeah.
So if there's like a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, if this were like 7 guys and one of them was like, I gave you a -1 hindrance, you're like, I don't want to waste that on that. That something else might pop up that's worse.
Okay, good to know. Cool. Thank you. So I guess you're passing the turn to me?
Yes.
Okay. What am I going to do with this? I'm realizing, well, under all targets, but... Okay. So... I'm just going to use him. I'm just going to hinder him with gravity again. I don't have another. I'm realizing I didn't take another good attack thing, until red zone stuff. So, I might have to rejigger this just a little bit, but we'll see.
Now you can just make a general attack. Like anyone can throw a punch.
Okay. Sure.
Right?
Yeah, it's a comic book.
The thing is, instead of using a power, you would just use a D4.
Oh, okay. So you would use a D4. You would just use like a D4, and then would I just roll
a quality
and
a quality and a status?
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
That actually might be kind of fun. I kind of want to try that just for shits and giggles. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Because, why not, right? Because, all the other stuff I've got is, attack multiple targets. I don't know if that would apply if there's only one guy left.
One is a multiple is a multiple.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you'd be hitting the one guy, and a lot of the multiple ones are just not as, useful. But it's still, you could hypothetically be using higher die count, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I've got an attack that attacks multiple targets using cosmic. Use your mid die. Okay, this has kind of got some text.
Yeah.
Use your mid die. Hinder all targets damaged by this ability with your min die. Hinder yourself with your max die.
Yes.
Right? So, just the usual mid max. So, hold on. I'm just what tab do I have my dice roller on? There it is. So is that it says use your max die. Would I get to use my biggest die now? Like my 12?
It'll be for whatever your roll was.
Okay.
Yeah, remember your mid, max, and min is the result, not necessarily die size.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, my bad.
No worries. So it's like, yeah, if you're rolling like a d12 and a d4, but you get a 1 on the 12 and a 3 on the 4, the 4 that the
Is
3
your max
got
die.
would be the max die.
Okay, so it's still 6. 6
So you're
8 and 6, 8, and 10. Okay, there we go.
What is your quality you're using?
Quality is alertness.
Okay.
So
status, 6, 8, and cosmic. Yeah, so 6, 8, 10. Yep.
Cool. Good. Cool. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. So 6, 8, 10. So a 3, a 2, and a 4.
So a 3. Yeah, 3, 2, 4. Yeah. So 3 is the attack.
Mm-hmm.
He is hindered with the 2, and you hinder yourself with the 4.
Yes.
So he is a -2 because he exploded.
Yeah, the skill is called Dangerous Explosion. I don't think it actually looks like. I might steal some of the some things from masks for skill names. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But its closest thing is Reality Storm.
So quick, describe what happens.
In this case, I think it's literally that it. Oh God, what would happen here with its like a kind of cosmic power? That's a really good question.
May I make a suggestion to help you?
Yes, please. Thank you.
This feels like something Rio this feels like an action Rio didn't necessarily intend to take.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
This feels like a little bit more than she probably wanted to put into her attack.
Sure. A little bit more oomph than she expected. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the idea.
Oh, go ahead.
I like the idea since, we're already leaning into it a little bit with Pluto. You remember that one extremely cool attack in Dragon Ball Super, like the Broly film, where Gogeta just kind of throws this cute little dainty star, just hoping it would just like make a little pop, and then it's a very massive explosion.
Oh yeah, super, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it takes the form of. I think Rio tries to just hit him with like a small laser beam, like a little like kind of like energy blast.
Accidentally fully Godzilla's it.
And it was way bigger. It goes like super out of control, right? Yeah, that's what that is.
And now that was a 4, right? That was your mid?
4 was her max, I think.
4 was my max. My mid was 3.
Okay, 3.
We're gonna need to put Dice Maiden in a chat or something.
We should also point out there's a bonus. +3 somewhere in there from the boost.
Yes,
that's true. Okay, so you know what? He can't beat that. He's out. He's got a -2. You've got a +3. He can't actually beat that, and it's a 3. He can't win. He can only roll a 4.
Cool.
He can roll a 2 at most. So no.
I like to think that this explosion, because like Pluto is in very close combat, right? I like to think it just happens immediately in their face and also doesn't hurt them. And they just like look over, like, huh?
Like, what was that? What?
Dennis gets thrown back, and he kind of comically skids along the pavement a little bit. The 3 of them are unconscious. The hostages have escaped and gone back into the crowd. The trunk full of electronics is still there. Everyone's kind of quiet for a little while. And then Prosperity looks at her deputies and goes, "Good job, boys."
Ollie is just like scratching her head and just like looking at, just like slowly turning to Rio and be like, I told you to aim just in that one spot. Did you have to just hit the entire freeway?
The pavement is kind of smoldering a little bit.
Yeah, things are a little singed.
There's some
the asphalt melting
spots.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Pluto walks over, pulling quills out of their shoulder, like other hand just on their hip, back straight triumphantly. Well, that was fun.
I think Rio was like plucking the quills out of her hand, just like I didn't think it would go that wild, if I'm being completely honest.
The deputies go and put cuffs on the 3 of them. 2 of them also close and secure the trunk. And then Prosperity steps in front of the three of you with her arms crossed.
Yeah.
And she goes, Hey. So
Hi.
I noticed the three of you ain't wearing costumes. And that's the only kind of vigilante justice we allow around here. So
I'm in costume.
I really
Wait, hold on.
And she goes, okay, then what's your superhero name?
Pluto. I will say, Pluto's like, oh, do I need to be wearing something else? And then Pluto just like transforms into their superhero costume.
Yeah.
Like they're just suddenly wearing like a black spandex bodysuit with like the similar like kind of skeletal like design aspects on it, like this.
Yeah, honey, like that.
Is the tights not enough? Do I need to like take off the jacket and wear like a leotard? Is that what I need to do?
Look, the point is I would really, really appreciate it if the three of you would just come with me to the station.
Yeah.
And we can talk this out.
That's fair.
Yes,
because
Pluto puts their hands on their hips. I thought we had an understanding about not being recruited.
Oh dear.
Pluto.
Darling, this isn't a recruitment. You are, and she kind of like kicks the dirt a little bit and thinks about her next words. I guess I'm technically arresting you. But I'd really like it if you would just cooperate and come with me, because she kind of looks at the smoldering pavement and the spines that just kind of fell from Pluto's body. She's like, I really don't want to have to fight you.
That's right. You don't. I'm going to go with you because I think you're funny, but if you ever tell me what to do, I'll fucking kill you.
They don't mean that. And she, like, Rio kind of like slaps Pluto in the arm a little, like, don't worry about it. They're just joking.
Ollie just like gently rubbing her temple, just like, I'm so sorry.
It's worth noting that Pluto says this the entire time with the exact same, like, bright-eyed smile on their face.
Oh, totally.
Totally,
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're so happy to be here.
Yeah, no change in demeanor whatsoever. No.
Prosperity, you know, says, all right, you three, follow me. And then she kind of gives a mischievous little grin to Ollie and goes, but I think you know the way.
Oh, because you've been in trouble before, right?
I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell the rest of this town looks like, so no, I'm following you. Sorry, ma'am.
So the three of you head off to the police station. I think we can probably call it there for today. I think that's a good issue 1.
That works really for me.
Funny.
That's funny.
Funny way to end issue 1 too.
The heroes arrested.
Yay! Yippee! Woo! Well, how you feeling, Ben? You were the one who was nervous. I had a blast.
That was super fun.
Yeah, no, this game rules. I like it a lot now.
I feel a lot better now.
Yeah, totally.
I was very afraid I'd be like, and then you, and then you, and then Dexter said.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is technically Patreon content. We're doing this more than once a month, right?
Yes.
Yay!
I think the plan will be to do it every 2 weeks.
I would love that.
So I think the way this will kind of work out pretty conveniently going forward is we do 2 regular podcast episodes, and then on that next Wednesday we do the game.
That sounds good to me.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
we don't really have as much news to talk about this year, I don't think.
Yeah,
so, like, worst case scenario, if the main feed slows down a little bit, it's not the end of the world.
Well, I mean, we've also been streaming more, so it all kind of balances it out, right?
Yeah.
Like we're streaming more.
We're diversifying our portfolio ahead of the possibility of gaming news not really mattering that much in the next year or 2.
That's correct. As everything gets more expensive and we can't buy as many video games, it's like, let's talk about, let's play video games we already own and play tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From companies that have gone bankrupt because of current events.
That's right.
Please note, this is not an official statement that the podcast is nearing completion.
No.
These are jokes. Dimitri
These are
Martin's
jokes.
album, these are jokes.
Yeah. I was gonna ask Ben before we like leave for the evening.
Yes.
Since this was our first session, it was kind of like a test play. What is your policy on maybe like slight reward, like picking different skills and whatnot going into the next session?
Oh, doing a mulligan?
Kind of like taking a mulligan now that you know what you're kind of doing.
Sarah, have you ever in your life read a comic where a character's power worked differently from one issue to a different issue?
Yeah, that's fair.
Has that ever happened in the history of the Big Two?
No.
I'm going to tell you for free, the nice part about Pluto, Rio, and Ollie is all of our power sets are really conceptually easy to go, well, it actually kind of works differently than you thought it did.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. It's we haven't completely explained how it works, and that means we can kind of fuss with it a little bit.
There is in the rulebook an official way to swap powers. It can only happen in between volumes. So every 4 or 5 sessions, you can customize, you can adjust your movesets.
Sure.
Since this is the first issue, it's kind of like a pilot. I'll let you guys take a mulligan for anything you want to do. Not anything super extreme, but if you want to adjust a few things here and there.
Sure, yeah. Because I'm just like looking at like the abilities I picked, and now that like, because like they didn't really mean anything to me before I played the game, and now I kind of understand the rhythm of it. It's like, oh, I need to diversify a little bit more, right? So
yeah, I will probably change at least one of my yellow zone ones, but I'm actually pretty happy with the balance I have found. Completely just like going blindly.
Yeah.
I'm excited to take Pluto into fights that run longer as we get into the thing.
Yes.
Their character sheet is constructed in such a way that it is hard. The longer the fight goes on, the more dangerous they get and the harder it becomes to do anything to them.
Yes. So the thing is, Saturn, this was the tutorial fight, right?
Yes.
Later fights, now that we've kind of gotten a bit more familiar with the system, very few will just be straightforward slugfests. The point of this game is to do more overcomes, because that's where twists come from.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
The villains are going to take hostages. Things in the environment might be active that are running around and attacking you.
Right. Oh, that's fun. Okay.
So yeah, technically, the environment itself can get a turn.
Ooh, okay.
If you're in a location where it's like you're on an airship with automated defenses, or
there is a specific reason I have diversified my set such that I have a lot of overcome and against environmental stuff, because I want to see that happen more often.
You might go to a swamp at some point, and the swamp might have like a bunch of plants or giant bugs that can attack you.
Or shall we say a poison swamp?
A poison swamp.
And that's the thing I would change. Because like right now, like my yellow dice is like 2 different AoE attacks. So I'm not really sure what to do. But like I only have like the 2 overcome specific actions in the form of my like stuff for principles. And I'd love to see like if I have other options that might give me like a little bit more variety for that.
Yeah.
Now the fun thing is, Saturn, what is Pluto the kind of character who would care about their environment? Or are they just more focused on wanting to punch the bad guy?
Well, I would say that their principles and also at least one of their red zone actions convey a distinct disrespect of anything that isn't fighting.
That's exciting.
So, I totally encourage, swapping things around, but also like maybe you want to play in the space of just not caring about the environment or about, the things that aren't the person directly in front of you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just
sorry.
I was just going to say 2 of my yellow zone actions are basically like interchangeable for the most part. So like I can replace one of them.
Yeah.
I have multiple assault and heedless blast, and the only difference is that heedless blast technically does more damage, but then I also take damage. But otherwise, they're both like AoE attacks using shapeshifting, right?
Yeah.
Sure. It's like I could have a little bit more variety in there.
Yeah.
Well,
I just think you should juggernaut it a bit more.
I mean, I'm already doing that. It only gets better the further into red zone we get.
Yeah.
In red zone, I take 3 reduced damage from all physical damage sources. Period.
Ooh, that's fun.
Now because the thing is, sometimes you kind of want to be bad at overcoming, because that's when the major twists come in, and those lead to plot points.
And when major twists happens, it means things are more likely to want to kill Pluto, which means I'll be spending more time doing red zone combat, which is where they want to be.
I am tickled that I've created a really great skill set of girl who can attack sometimes, but mostly just buffs everybody else.
I'm okay with that. Everybody loves a support saber.
I love being the support.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I have made Pluto. I have given Pluto break bar mechanics.
Yeah. We're just going full FGO now. It's fine.
We were already there. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
So that's it, I think. Hey, if you're listening to this, that means you paid money for it, and we greatly appreciate that. Thank you for your support and for giving me the money that allows me to run this game that I've been wanting to run for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to coming back to it in approximately 2 weeks, and yeah.
All right, that'll do it for us. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.